Morning world, it's not even 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm off very shortly to drive 2.5 hours to Minehead in North Devon to do about 14 readings. So, morning, long day ahead of me. This is my astrological vignette on the 10th house, the house of work and career. Now, the 10th house, the start of the 10th house is always the midheaven, except in one particular house system. So I want to differentiate between the 10th house and the midheaven. The midheaven specifically stands for issues to do with public image, visibility, prominence, profile, status, but also your relationship with authority, whether that authority is God, teacher or employer. The midheaven, the 10th house, the area that started by the midheaven, is the area that deals with your job, your career, your work, your vocation, and the way you push yourself into and onto the outside world. It's about your status, it's about your profile, it's about the way the outside world sees you at the minute by minute level. It is, to an extent, the way you deliberately try and impress the outside world as your being. With planets in the 10th house, with the sun in the 10th house, great position. People with the sun in the 10th house they're always born close to midday. And this is the position where these people will shine like the sun at midday. They will be seen. You will be visible if you've got the sun in the 10th house. You might as well go out there and make some money from it. Whereas moon in the 10th house people are a little bit less confident about projecting themselves into and onto the outside world. They only feel good about being out there in the world if their efforts are benefiting those who are less fortunate for themselves. Hence 10th house moon people often have careers working with nutrition or health or social community or care or something like that. Mercury in the 10th house people are always geared towards looking for opportunities about dealing with the outside world. They're very good at, people with Mercury in the 10th house are very good with dealing with situations involving communicating with large groups of people, taking on some type of authoritarian responsibility, and not so much laying down the law or laying down the rules, but setting the parameters for social acceptability. Venus in the 10th house, not that comfortable position, but it's okay. Venus likes to do everything with grace. So any type of public image work or profile or career work is going to be done with a degree of je ne sais pas. It's going to have a degree of sophistication and elegance about it. Otherwise it's not going to play, because Venus doesn't do, of course. Mars in the 10th house, possibly the best place in the sky for Mars, because it gives Mars the capacity to put energy into one's physical work. And people with Mars in the 10th house always come home knackered at night because they've worked so hard, but then they're normally successful as well. Jupiter in the 10th, given a bit to overstatement, overreaching oneself, over-expectancy of oneself and of other, but primarily of oneself. That's the hardest thing here. So there's a need to be realistic about your aspirations and to only go for what you can realistically achieve. Saturn in the 10th house, possibly the best place in the sky for Saturn, with the possible exception of the 7th, in that it's in its natural home and its attributes of discipline, structure, order, focus, concentration and hard work will work very well with the 10th house's natural desire to be out there in the world and seen as disciplined and focused. Uranus in the 10th house people just don't have normal careers, all right? You're not going to have a 9-to-5 job. You're not going to be conventional and orthodox. You either need to work for yourself or do something that thinks outside the box and has a more innovative and original way of looking at the world. Neptune in the 10th house, generally these people work in either the service industries or they work in a way that brings a degree of art and intuition into their lives. Often people who have some type of more dramatic effect on the outside world. And Pluto in the 10th house people are here to learn how their outside world career actively transforms their life and makes them much more comfortable within themselves at handling things like responsibility and authority, the very thing they used to run away from when they were a child. There you go, 10th house stuff. Catch you later. Bye.